the introduction of volleyball, and other little-known facts on the game. Did you know the net height in volleyball used to be shorter earlier, as the average American was not so tall in the 19th century? Volleyball is originally called as mintonette. The game of volleyball was invented in 1895 by William G. Morgan in Holyoke, Massachusetts at YMCA. The game volleyball is still widely played by 80 million people worldwide at least once a week. The objective of the game is for each team to send the ball over the net to ground it on the opponent's court, and to prevent the ball from being grounded on its own court. The ball is put into play by the serving player. What is the main idea of the game volleyball? This game required when playing volleyball strengthen the upper body, arms, shoulders, thighs, abdominals, and lower legs. In addition, volleyball improves hand-eye coordination, reflexes, and balance. Last but not the least, volleyball teaches teamwork and communication and is a great social activity. In volleyball, the game is so unique because, first and foremost, players must rebound the ball. All other major American sports allow the player either to hold or pause with the ball during the game action. Look at the ball skills of a football player. When someone drops the ball, people flop and flail all over the field trying to just land on top of the ball. In basketball, if you are confused or the play breaks down, you just hold on to the ball to collect your thoughts before passing it along. Imagine volleyball hitters confronted by a big block, being able to say to themselves, "Whoa, way too big a block," and then tip it back to their own team to try again. The ball in volleyball never comes perfectly to a player, even in the teammate-to-teammate skills. Reading and anticipation skills are the most important skills, not the 60 skills we know so well. Proper reading must be incorporated into every drill, for even cooperative actions will not place the ball in the perfect spot for skill execution. 99% of the game is spent not touching the ball. Rather, it is spent moving to be in a better place and to touch the ball better.
Volleyball is a team sport played by two teams of 6 players each, in which the players use their hands to hit the ball back and forth over a high net, attempting to make the ball contact the court within the opponent's playing area before it can be returned. And volleyball contains several aspects of play. The international volleyball is the same as the commonly called volleyball. The only difference in here is from the word international is the global, which is you can compete with another country. Also, in the international volleyball and the common volleyball is they have the same rules. Volleyball, a game similar to volleyball played on a four-walled court with a ball the same size as but harder than the volleyball that is allowed to bounce off the ceiling and the walls before being returned over the net. It is able to stating that combining the soccer and volleyball The rules are similar to volleyball. In this game, they use their feet to kick the ball instead of hands. It is very popular sport in Southeast Asia, and they also call this sepak takraw. Volleyball was created by Philip Eichmann of Belgium. The sport was formally introduced to the globe in 2014 and has since spread to nations around Europe, Latin America, and the Middle East.
Hello, my name is Christian Roy, and we are gonna talk about the history and origin of volleyball. In 2016, the sport of volleyball is over 120 years old. The sport originated in the United States and is just now achieving the type of popularity in the US that it has received on a global basis, where it ranks behind only soccer among participation sports. Today, there are more than 46 million Americans who play volleyball. There are 800 million players worldwide who play volleyball at least once a week. In 1895, William G. Morgan, an instructor at the Young Men's Christian Association or YMCA in Holyoke, Massachusetts, decided to blend elements of basketball, baseball, tennis, and handball to create this game for his classes of businessmen, which would demand less physical contact than basketball. He created the game of volleyball, at that time called mintonet. Morgan borrowed the net from tennis and raised it 6 feet 6 inches above the floor, just above the average man's head. During a demonstration game, someone remarked to Morgan that the player seems to be volleying the ball back and forth over the net, and perhaps volleyball would be a more descriptive name for the sport. On July 7, 1896, at Springfield College, the first game of volleyball was played. So, the history of volleyball is interesting because of how the game discovered and how they think of its name. The game volleyball is now over 125 years old. And the creator of the game, William Morgan, who was an instructor of YMCA at that time, discovered it in 1895. And at that time, it is called mintonet. They came up with the name volleyball because they noticed that the ball is volleying back and forth over the net. So, in 1895, na-discover ni William Morgan ang game na volleyball, which is nakuha niya lang sa baseball, basketball, handball, at tennis game. So, yung first pangalan ng volleyball is mintonet, which is napalitan lang nung 1896, which is yung first game demonstration ng volleyball. And that's how the history of volleyball that we know.
Volleyball rule violation. Committing any of these volleyball rule violations results in a point for the opponent. Stepping on or across the service line when serving while making contact with the ball. Failure to serve the ball over the net successfully. Ball handling errors and contact the ball illegally. Double touching, lifting, carrying, throwing, and etc. Touching the net with any part of the body while the ball is in play. Blocking a ball coming from the opponent's court and contacting the ball when reaching over the net if your opponent has not used 3 contact and has a player there to make a play of the ball. Attacking a ball coming from the opponent's court and contacting the ball when reaching over the net when the ball has not yet broken and the vertically plane of the net. Crossing the court center line with any part of your body with the exception of your hand and or foot it is only considered a violation if the entire hands or entire foot crosses the court center line, serving out of rotation or out of order. Back row player blocking, deflecting a ball coming from the opponent. When at the moment of contact, the back row player is near the net and has part of the body above the top of the net. This is an illegal block. Back row player attacking a ball inside the front zone, the area inside the 3 meter by 10 foot line. When at the moment of contact, the ball is completely above the net, this is an illegal attack. That's the rule violation of the volleyball.
The facilities and equipment of volleyball. Volleyball was invented in 1895 by William G. Morgan as a less strenuous alternative to basketball for middle-aged men. The sport began as a loose conglomeration of several other sports incorporating equipment and ideas from badminton, tennis, and basketball. As the game developed, the work and the equipment became uniquely refined to meet the specific needs of the sport. The volleyball court dimension. It is 60 feet in total. The net is placed inside the center of the court, making each side of the net 30 feet by 30 feet. The net is placed directly above the center of the line, 7 feet 4 inches above the ground for women and 8 feet above ground for men. Poles. Volleyball poles should be set at 36 feet apart, 3 feet further out from the sidelines. The minimum ceiling height should be 23 feet, though they should preferably be higher. The ball for volleyball is smaller than basketball bladder that was used originally.
How to earn points in volleyball? In volleyball, the team winning a rally scores a point, or rally point system. When the receiving team wins a rally, it gains a point and the right to serve. And its players rotate one position clockwise. Volleyball is a complex game of simple skills. How long each game in volleyball? A volleyball game usually takes between 60 to 90 minutes, which includes 3 sets being played. There is no time limit for each set, so players can play as long as they want. Expect longer sets if competitive, high-level players are playing. How does the game start? To get play started, a team is chosen to serve by coin toss. A player from the serving team throws the ball into the air and attempts to hit the ball so it passes over the net on a course such it will land in the opposing team's court or the serve.
The playing area. The playing area includes the playing court and the free zone, which is a minimum of 3 meters wide on all sides. It shall be rectangular and symmetrical.
The playing court is a rectangle measuring 18 by 9 meters surrounded by a free zone which is a minimum of 3 meters on all sides. The surface must be flat, horizontal, and uniform. It must not present any danger of injury to the players. It is forbidden to play on raw and slippery surface.
Lines on the court. First, the service line. The area which the server may serve the volleyball is marked 10 feet inside the right side on each back line.
Is marked at the center of the court, dividing it equally into 30 feet squares, above which the net is placed.
Third is attack line, whose rear edge is drawn 3 meters back from the axis of the center line, marks the front zone.
Two sidelines and the two end lines mark the playing court.
Zones and areas. First is front zone, limited by the axis of the center line and the rear edge of the attack line. Consider to extend beyond the sidelines to the end of the free zone.
9 meters wide area behind each end line. short time.
Third is the substitution zone, limited by the extension of both attached line up to the scorer's table.
Part of the free zone on the side of the team benches, limited by the extension of the attack line up to the end line.
Fifth is warm-up area. For Federation International de Volleyball, World and Official Competition, the warm-up areas. Size, approximately 3 times 3 meter, are located in both of the bench side corner outside the free zone.
Size approximately 1 by 1 meter and equipped with 2 chairs is located in the control area outside the prolongation of each end line. Limited by a 5 cm wide red line.
Net and post. First, height of the net. Placed vertically over the center line. Top is the set at the height of 2.43 meter for men and 2.24 meter for women.
Net is 1 meter wide and 9.50 to 10 meter long, with 25 to 50 cm on each side of the side bands, made of 10 cm square black mesh.
Third is side bands. 2 wide bands, 5 cm side and 1 meter long, fastened vertically to the net and placed above each side line.
A flexible rod 1.80 long and 10 mm in diameter, made of fiberglass or similar material.
And last, the post. Placed at a distance of 0.50 meter to 1.00 meter outside the sideline. There are 2.55 meter in high and preferable adjustment.
Now, I'm going to show you how to serve in volleyball. There are 2 basic serve in volleyball, which is underhand and overhead. First is underhand. Be careful not to stand on the court while serving, and then pick your stance. Place the ball above your hips so that you can hit it underneath, because that's what you are going to do in underhand serve. First, slightly stretch your arm, then hit the ball underneath. If you want more power, you can use the closed hand. So which will look like this. First, your stance is the ball, then slightly bend your arm and then execute the serve properly. The next basic serve that I'm going to show you is the overhand. And overhand serve will look like this. First, pick up your face and toss the ball in front of you and in line with your arm. And overhand serve will look like this. Now we'll talk about the basic serve in volleyball. Now, I'm going to show you the common serve in volleyball, which is jump serve and jump float serve. So, first thing I'm going to show you is the jump float serve. Jump float serve requires 4 steps. First is, when you hold the ball, you need to bend your arm so that you can control in tossing the ball. First is 1, 2, and when you toss the ball, you do is to the right, left, then jump with the float. So, the jump float serve will look like this. First, the bend of your arm, so that you control that in tossing the ball. Then, toss the ball. So, the next serve that I'm going to show you is the jump serve. Jump serve also requires 4 steps to utilize the serve. So, the first step is the right when you toss the ball. Right, left, then hit the ball. This is how jump serve will look like. So that's the basic and common serving in volleyball. Again, my name is Christian Ramento. Thank you.
Here are the types of receiving in volleyball. First one is the low reception. In order to do a low reception, you must pay attention to the movement of the ball and position yourself towards the ball, then stay stationary to receive the ball in the platform of your hand. The second one is a high reception. In order to execute this, you must observe the ball in order to determine where it will go. Then raise your hands to intercept the ball and do an overhand pass. So those were the types of receiving in volleyball.
In this video, you'll learn how to make an overhand pass. It allows you to set the ball at the net so that your attacking teammate can spike it effectively. To set a good overhand pass, bear these 3 points in mind. Position yourself, ready yourself, and hit the ball. Firstly, position yourself. When the ball arrives, observe its trajectory closely and sprint to where it will land to catch it before it touches the floor. Position yourself below the ball's path so that it lands directly in front of you. Before you make contact, turn your feet, hips, and shoulders in the direction you want the ball to travel. Secondly, ready yourself. Bring your foot closest to the net forward slightly. Bend your knees a little, keeping your back straight. Bend your elbows to 90 degrees and raise them to just above shoulder level. Position your hands in front of your forehead. Hold your hands open, around 15 centimeters apart, fingers relaxed and slightly bent. Your wrists should be bent. Turn your palms to face forwards until the tips of your 2 thumbs are facing each other. Form a triangle with your thumbs and forefingers, through which you should be able to see the ball. Thirdly, hitting the ball. Just before receiving the ball, bend your knees and lean forward slightly. When the ball arrives just above your eyes, push off with your legs to stand up as tall as possible. Use your index and middle fingers and the upper part of your thumbs. Careful, don't use the very tips of your fingers, nor the palms of your hands. At the moment you touch the ball, rotate your wrists and palms inside to outside. Then push strongly with your fingers and straighten your arms up in front of you. Once you have learned this technique, practice it with some drills. Over to you.
Hello, my name is and I'm going to demonstrate you how to block properly in volleyball. First thing I'm going to show you is the stance. First, you need to bend so that you can be ready to jump and stretch your arm like this so that it can cover more area to block the ball so that you can be ready and jump. And the basic block that we know is like jumping, like this. The next thing is the basic 2-step in blocking. The first step is 2-step shuffle, which is moving from the left or the right side to block. So first, you go with the from the left. So your instance first, then 2-step, 1, 2. So if you're moving to the left, you need to start with the left foot. And if you're moving to the right, you need to start with the right foot. So it goes like this. Distance 1, 2, jump. From the right side, 1, 2, jump. The next thing I'm going to teach you is the basic footwork in blocking. So first is the 2-step shuffle. The 2-step shuffle is moving from right or left of the court, so that you can block from the left side or right side. First thing is your stance. Then step from if you're starting from the left, then the left foot should step first. That look like this. Then the right. So that's how you properly block in volleyball.
We have 4 types of spike: hard drive spike, off-speed spike, open-handed tip, and standing spike. Hard driven spike. It is a hard hit ball that travels forcefully down towards the opponent's court. Off-speed spike is a spike in which the hitter, at the moment of contacting the ball, decreases the acceleration of the arm and delivers an off-speed shot or a roll shot. Open-hand tip is directing the ball with the fingers when attacking. Standing spike is attacking a ball from a standing position. A standing spike is also referred to as a down ball.